You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, and so you know on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon today. I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Wayfinder. So y'all, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now up for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel. Get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming not safe for work videos. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm changing, we're up, and let's go. Alright. Whoa, Fynn! I see you let him give you head scratches, but not me. Yes, well, he has taste, it seems. God, I'm trying to... Alright, trying to get him to do that voice. I got to pat his head yesterday, too. Oh, no. I got to pat his head yesterday, too. Bjorn wears a proud smile as Gerald stifles a laugh, and I blush. Have I really been letting them do that? Arkin gives me a hurt look, but I'm nonplussed. Don't give me that look. You've gotten in a few already. He immediately drops the act and laughs, then holds my head between his arm and side and scratches my head as I struggle to pull away. Hey, stop! The wolf giant relentlessly pats my head, messing my hair up to an unrecognizable bird's nest. After he's done, I turn to him. Arkin, I'll get you for this, and you too! I turn toward the other wolf giants. Gerald lets out a few sniffles and is trying not to sneeze. Bjorn is looking at the list of seasonal flowers we offer, but both of them turn their heads to look at me innocently. You two let him do this, so mean! Just as Gerald sneezes, I unlock the door to the garden center and walk in, grumpier than I was a few moments ago. Ah, shush, you love it. The three wolf giants and I enter the garden center together. I look around to check what still needs to be done and return to the wolves to divvy out tasks. Alright, we should work on some of this stuff before you guys start to explain yourselves. I'll give you each your task, and then I'll come around to check on you after I handle mine. The three lupines nod in agreement, and I walk over to the rows of flowers. Looking at Gerolf, I hand him a clipboard and pen from the nearby desk. He looks at the flowers and sniffles, rubbing his muzzle gently. Gerolf, I need you to look around the flowers and the planters here for any signs of pests. Don't worry about dealing with them if you see any. Just mark the name of the plant as listed on its nameplate. Check off whether it contains any pests or not, and which section of each plant here on the checklist. I point out the section markers on each plant's row, and Gerald nods and takes the clipboard and pen slowly. He turns towards the flowers. I will do as you ask. I smile and walk along with the other two wolf giants. Moving through the greenhouse past the table set up for mass flower sales, we come to the bigger plants in the back of the greenhouse near the exit to the mall's rooftop garden. I stop in front of the hose and turn toward Bjorn, who seems to be holding back his enthusiasm. You look excited. You really like plants, don't you? Yes, look, they're a verbena and a goldenrod. I love this place. And goodness, are those flowering crocus? Oh god, you're making my allergies flare up. What the hell, Gabe? The wolf giant hurries back and forth between each plant excitedly, and although it is quite adorable, I have to get him back on task. Hey, Bjorn, I need you to focus, buddy. Bjorn stops and looks back at me in surprise. Oh, right. Ah, God, messing up the voice. Sorry. Oh, right, sorry. Well, what do you need me to do? I smile and take the hose off of its storage ring. I need you to water each of these plants accordingly, as they aren't on the automatic sprinkler system. Stay a while and listen. Okay. If you need to, feel free to refer to this guidebook on each plant. After that, could you check them for pests like Gerolf is doing? There are only about 20 plants, so it shouldn't take long. Thank you. Bjorn nods happily, smiling as he picks up the hose from my arms and turns toward the plants. I should be fine. I know all these plants, and I'll be done before you know it. I pat him on the shoulder and walk on with Arkin toward the back end where the room awaits. Alright, Arkin, here's what you're gonna do. I open the door and smile at my wolven friend as we walk into the storage room. I wave a hand in motion toward all the bags of soil and fertilizer waiting in their cool, dry dungeon for their purpose. Ta-da! Oh, hey, neat. It's, whatever this is. This is fertilizer and soil, waiting to be used in the outdoor garden as well as a lot around the mall. The owner of this store gets a huge lease discount from the owners of the mall for upkeep of the grounds, so we generally keep enough up here to use in the rooftop garden. You can use that lift over there to reach the bottom storage room that leads out to the lot. As I'm explaining this to him, Arkin is looking at everything I motion toward. Hopefully he's keeping up. The team just finished planting winter-safe plants in the lot, and so they need to fertilize the soil for a few more weeks. I need you to make sure that there are 4 bags of fertilizer downstairs and 4 bags of soil on the rooftop garden. They're overhauling that area within the next week, so with some plants that are being kept over where Bjorn is working. Then I need you to put one bag of soil under every other table under where Gerolf is working. Got that? Got all that? Arkin looks at me and nods, smiling. Yeah, of course. I'll be finished in no time at all. I smile and move over to the lift. Okay then. To move the lift down, you need to close this gate from above and then press the button with the downward-facing arrow. And to come back up, it's the upward-facing arrow. You're smart. You'll figure it out. Arkin smiles after I call him smart, and honestly I want to scratch his muzzle again so badly. Instead, I move quickly toward the door. Gonna check up on the others? Not yet. I have some stuff to handle first. Maybe I'll come through to check up on you after. We'll see. I smirk and wave to Arkin, turning to head into the office to read any messages left by the owner. After about half an hour, I finish handling my duties and decide to check in on the others. I see Gerald focusing on the plants, sneezing into his elbow all the time. Bjorn is examining the plants he was left with and making notes on a clipboard like Gerald's. Arkin seems to be about halfway done moving the bags from the storage space to the underside of the tables. I start with checking on Gerolf. Hey, Gerolf, how are the... He sneezes loudly, rapidly, and repeatedly. When he finally stops, he turns to look at me with the most miserable expression I've ever seen. Finder, Oh my gosh, are you alright? I move quickly toward him and lift his face toward mine, inspecting his eyes and nose and mouth. He sniffles, his blue eyes puffy and a bit watery. I'm allergic to pollen. As though to bring the lie to his words, another sneeze fires suddenly into his elbow. And when he turns back up, I see his nose is a bit wet. I look at him in this sorry state, feel guilty for putting him the task I chose. Gerolf, I'm so sorry. If I had known I wouldn't have put you here, I would have changed the plan to have us talk somewhere else entirely. I may have something that can help. Can you wait over there by the bench? I motion toward a bench that sits by the door we came in from and pat his muzzle a bit. He seems comforted by my gesture and nods. I turn away from him and go to get a bottle of water from the employee break room. Next, I head into the bathroom and find the first aid kit. Rummaging through it, I find the bottle of pills I'm looking for. And then I head back to the sniffling silver-furred wolf. Here, take one of these pills and then drink this bottle. I hand Gerolf the allergy medicine and water, then back away just in case he sneezes again. Gerolf looks at the pills suspiciously. Just as he looks ready to sniff, he inhales and covers his nose. What is this? It's allergy medication. You should drink that whole bottle of water if you can. It's recommended. Gerolf stares cutely at the bottle of water and fumbles with the cap. I take it from him, smirking and open it for him. Handing it back to Gerolf as he swallows the pill, he closes his watery eyes and lifts the bottle up to drink from it. Some of the water drips down Gerolf's chin onto his chest. His lightly furred abs now gently glistening with water droplets in the sunlight coming in from above the greenhouse. After staring in awe for a few moments, I shake my head and return to my worried expression. So, feel any different? My boss gives that stuff to his dogs when they have allergy issues. It's an antihistamine. The wolf stops moving for a second and shudders, then gives a loud sneeze into his elbow in response. I worry he's not going to feel better at first, but then he looks at me with surprise. I can breathe through my nose again. That antihistamine works fast. I thank you, Fynn. The wolf moves closer and hugs me tight, which brings a warmth to my cheeks that I didn't expect. Oh, it was nothing. I was the one who put you in that situation, after all. He pulls away from the embrace as soon as I utter the words and looks at me incredulously. Nonsense! I should have trusted you enough to speak up in the first place. You made a decision in my task based on what you knew beforehand. Had I given you the information prior, I am certain you would have chosen a more suitable task. I apologize, Finder. Well, as long as you're feeling better, I suppose that's all I could really hope for. I smile up at him, and I notice his gaze seems to fix onto my smile a bit longer than I expected. I decide to move away and head over to Bjorn, waving to Gerolf as I walk off. Bjorn seems to be expertly pruning a plant while grumbling to himself. I notice his checklist is finished but has many notes on it. I pick it up and give it a once-over. Many in-depth notes for each plant adorn the paper, some even sticking to the allocated box labeled notes. There you go. Yeah, I'm kind of sniffling myself. I pick it up and give it a once-over. Okay, I already did that. He really likes gardening. When I hear him say Finder under his breath, I decide to clear my throat. This startles him. Wow, all this in just half an hour? You must do this a lot. He stops whatever he was doing and turns to me suddenly, almost stumbling. Oh, Fynn. How long have you been here? How long have you been there? Not long at all, Bjorn. I give him an innocent smile. So, how often do you get to garden? You really rose to the occasion. He tenses up a bit more, but then exhales and looks at me with an expression of embarrassment. Oh, not often at all, actually. I really only take care of a few plants in my room, and he gasps audibly and covers his mouth. I look at him in confusion. That was a pun! You made a gardening pun! The gentle giant starts to laugh, and I can't help but smile. He suddenly stops as if he's remembered something, and turns to me excitedly. Finder, what does a flower say when it's surprised? I look at him in shock, then realize it's a joke. Oh, I don't know. What? What incarnation? I swear I can hear a badum tisk somewhere in the ether. I smile. Two can play at that game. What did the tree say when her son went off to college? He looks so excited right now, my heart flutters a bit. Got my throat right now, Jesus. What? I believe in you! His laughter fills the air and mine follows. Who knew I would find a kindred spirit in my love of terrible puns? What did the butterfly say after he told a joke? I shrug and make a face to show I have no idea but absolutely want to know. I was just pulling your leg. God, these are so terrible. I snort and laugh, harder after I hear a sneeze coming from Geralf's direction. The two of us laugh until we come down off the dopamine high, and after we get looks from Arkin and Geralf, and I pat his shoulder. You made my day. You made my daisy, Bjorn. Bjorn's face swells with pride and he smirks at me, the most confident that I've seen him since we met. Anything to see that cherub smile of yours? I feel myself begin to blush and quickly move away, looking at the crocus between us. So, you live in a castle, huh? And you have a garden? Yeah, we're pretty well off. Most of my family doesn't like to deal with the other villages, so we usually stay out of things, and everyone in my castle village lives a pretty relaxed life. I'd love to show you my garden someday. I'd love to see them someday, Bjorn. I smile at him and turn away to find Arkin. I find him finishing up on the other side of the greenhouse. When I approach him, I can't help but notice his arms flexing his form as he squats to lower the last bags of fertilizer underneath the long table. To my dismay, he turns his head and his eye catches me gaping in awe as he gives me one of his trademark charming smiles. Fynn, enjoying the show? Like, no. His tail swishes once and I look away, flustered. You're delusional! I feel the heat on my face. Good job with the bags. You got them done quick. I can feel my eyes straining to not tear up from embarrassment. Of all the times for him to notice me. Well, I suppose that was a fun workout. I should thank you. He laughs and moves closer to me. As he leans in closer to me, I can feel my heart beating faster. His muzzle brushes against my ear and cheek, both of which I feel get warmer exponentially. Thank you, Fynn. I'm so happy I inhaled before his cheek brushed mine because I can feel my breathing ready to hitch. My lungs won't let me exhale or even think about further breaths while this wolf giant is so close. Welcome. It's all I can stammer out. I blush hard and turn away. Maybe we should call the others to come outside to the rooftop garden. It's getting kind of hot here anyway. Arkin smiles at me tauntingly, then walks outside the nearby door. I call the other two wolf giants over and we exit onto the garden on the roof. Alright then, Arkin, Geralf, Bjorn. I think it's time you guys answer my questions. I don't exactly know what questions to ask, but hopefully I can figure some out as I go. First up, if one of you can, please explain what wolf giants are. Finders, too, for that matter. I cross my arms and lean back against the wall. The three wolf giants are standing around me, and while I don't distrust them, I can't help but pull into self-soothe. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout-out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silvermoon. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. And thank you to our gold tier patron, Amr. Thanks for subbing to our ultimate tier. You're awesome. We love you. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to our Not Safe for Work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!